All right. So welcome everybody. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day today. It's such a pleasure to see everybody on today. Guys, we're here for quite a treat. If this is your first time here today, I just want to take that time and welcome you. And you're going to learn a lot of great things about what we're doing for families and why we're doing
All
it for
right.
families.
So welcome everybody. I hope everybody's having
Here.
a fantastic day today.
All right. So here's the great thing, guys. We're gonna do some let me see here 1 second. Let me just welcome on everybody. Welcome everybody. Welcome. All right. So I see we have Miss Maureen on. Welcome on. Hello, Miss Deborah. Welcome, Joseph. Welcome, Miss Rafina. Welcome on, August. Welcome everybody. Welcome. Everybody's tuning in right now. It's a pleasure to have you guys on. And you, like I said, you're in for quite a treat today. We're going to talk a lot of great things today. So take good notes. So just to give you guys a little background about myself, my name is Coach Keyon. I've been in the industry for now a decade. I currently reside in the state of Florida. I'm a father of 6 beautiful kids, engaged, and a lot of great things about me, right? But I want to tell you guys a little bit of how I got here. Before I got into this industry, I've been in this industry for a decade now. And before this, I used to work 3 jobs. I used to work from 3:45 in the morning to 11:30 at night, and that was my work schedule until I got a phone call, and that phone call said, "Hey, are you open to learning more about finance?" And I gladly said yes. And that yes changed my life because within 2 years, I was able to get rid of all my jobs. Within my third year, me and my business partners opened up our first center where we started, educating people. But what motivated me? What motivated me to get into this industry? It wasn't just about learning, but it was the part where I noticed there was a guy that was earning over 6 figures, educating people for free. And I was like, how are you able to educate people for free and make 6 figures, over 6 figures? That really intrigued me. So I decided to ask, how can I qualify? And that decision changed my life. Changed my life. Because of that decision, I'm able to be in a position where I could empower my mom, empower my friends, empower my families, and empower many people like yourself today. So I just want to tell you guys, hey, if you have a dream, guys, never give up on yourself. Believe in yourself, trust in yourself, and trust in the Lord, right? Because you will always find a way. That's how I did it. So just to give you a little background about, who we are as a company. Now, our name of our firm is called HGI. Many of you probably heard of the name before. Many of you probably know the story of our firm. But HGI stands for Hedgeman Group International. See, we are a marketing firm, and we focus on providing financial services with complimentary financial workshops. So that way families can come and learn. Because we realize that families are facing 4 major concerns, guys. Write this down. 4 major concerns families are facing today. And every family can relate and say that they having concerns on how to make more money. They're concerned about how to save more money. They're concerned about how to grow their money. And they are concerned about how to protect their money. These are the 4 major concerns that we have realized that families are really concerned about. So as we go through today's overview, I want you to think about what is it that concerns you about your finances? What are your concerns? What are the things that are keeping you up late at night? What is that you wish you know that you don't know? Because today we're going to talk about some concepts. We're going to talk about some concepts that can help you and your family. So like I said, take really good notes, guys, because today we're going to talk about the new rules of money. All right, so let's talk about this. So right now we know that money is a problem for everybody in America. Money is a major problem for everyone in America. And when it comes down to that problem, guys, we've realized that when it comes down to debt, they said that the average student loan debt right now, right, is around $58,000+. Think about that. And then when it comes down to the average debt that someone carries around, including their mortgage, is about $163,000+. So when you think about all this debt, do you realize that debt is becoming a way of life for many of us in America today? Right? Debt is a way of a life. Then we realize that when it comes down to taxes, that in 2019, write this down, in 2019, we spent more money on taxes than we spend on our food, clothes, housing, all of those combined, we spent more money on taxes in 2019. And we're probably still spending more money on taxes today, right? How about the fact that when it comes to inflation, did you know that a dollar in 1972 was worth 15 cents in today's value? Did you know that the average inflation rate from 1972 to 2022 was 3.9%? And you may wonder, well, how does inflation happen? Write this down. Inflation is known to be the silent killer. Write that down. Inflation is the silent killer. And the reason why it's a silent killer is because inflation happens when a country prints more money than it actually earns in its GDP. So that's why they consider inflation as a hidden tax system in our current monetary system today. See, many people don't understand how this is happening. Now, even when it comes down to savings, did you know that 45% of Americans believe that they will outlive their savings? 45% of Americans believe in themselves that they will outlive what they save. And it's due to the fact that many people were not taught, write this down, you weren't taught what is known as your FIN number. How many of you on this call today that's looking, listening, how many of you know what's your FIN number? What is your final income number for retirement? You see, the problem is that many of these corporations and institutions have taught us where to save our money for retirement. But the question is, do you know how much you need in order to stay retired? So that's the difference between understanding. Now, when it comes down to life insurance, this is a big other dilemma. Because many of us were taught that life insurance for when we die. How many of us heard that whole myth? Life insurance for when you die. What a myth. Life insurance is not for when you die because that's called final expense. Write that down. Final expense insurance for when you die, not life insurance. But if you understood that the average face amount for an individual life insurance policy that was issued in 2018 was only $168,000, guys. Only $168,000. So I want to let you know this. If you were never taught what's called your dime method, you got to write that down. Dime, D-I-M-E method, your dime method. The dime method tells you how much insurance you would need based upon the calculation. So before you go and purchase any life insurance or own any life insurance, you need to take the time to calculate your dime. So this is what you do. You got to calculate how much debt do you have. That's what the D stands for, debt. How much is your total amount of debt? And then the I stands for your income. What is your annual income? Then multiplied by 10, right? Because you want to have 10 years of income replacement. If God forbid something was to happen to you, your income won't disappear if you have a dependent or a spouse, okay? Now the M stands for mortgage. The M stands for mortgage, which means that if you had a balance of your mortgage upon the time of owning the life insurance, you want to make sure that if something was to happen to you, your mortgage will be taken care of, the balance of the mortgage. And then the E stands for education. The E stands for education. So God forbid if something was to happen to you, your kids' education will be taken care of as well. So that's how you go about owning life insurance, guys. You got to know what is your dime. Always calculate how much insurance you need before going out there and purchasing one. Also, when it comes down to long-term care, did you know that in 2021, the annual median cost for home health aid was over $61,000+? Did you guys also know that if you wanted to be in a nursing home in a private room, that's going to cost you about $108,000+? So think about this. How many of you is putting aside right now an extra $600,000 to $1 million to the side for long-term care? See, no one ever tells us to plan for these things. No one ever tells us to plan for these things. And that's the reason why when it comes down to retirement, you know, Maureen, retirement becoming a major problem for families today. And it's because no one ever tells us how to plan for it. Did you know that the median average retirement income for retirees 65 and older is $47,000+? And a lot of this is not by accident. The reason why this is happening is because of something called the 40-40-40 plan. How many of you guys heard of that before? You see, Joseph, what is the 40-40-40 plan? The 40-40-40 plan is where the corporations know that we as hardworking people had to work 40 plus hours every week in order to sustain the lifestyle that we currently have. And we had to work 40 plus years in order to save up some money for retirement. But here's the kicker. Did you know when you retire, when you add up your pension, 401k, personal savings, Social Security, did you know even with all of that combined, you will receive around 40% of your income? So if you couldn't survive on 100% of your income during your retirement years, what do you think it's going to be like when you do retire? This is why you got to think about this, guys. You really got to think about how to plan for the future, because planning for the future is so important, guys. Because here's the thing. We don't have a retirement problem. That's something I want you guys to really know. We don't have a retirement problem, you know, Ms. Rufina. You know what kind of problem we have? We have a staying retired problem. That's the problem that we have. We have a staying retired problem. How can we stay retired when the time when we do retire? So that's why in our firm, we are teaching people, and we want to teach you, you know, August, that, hey, it is time for you to take control. And in order for you to take control, we're going to teach you the fundamentals of how to pay yourself first. Imagine, we're so good at paying our bills. We're so good at paying everything else but ourselves. So we're going to teach you how to start paying yourself. You know, Miles, when it comes down to our firm here at HGI, we're also going to show you how you could earn additional income. Remember, I told you guys, I started out here part-time, and I learned how to earn additional income being a financial educator and a business coach on a part-time basis until I was able within 2 years to get rid of all 3 of my jobs. Guys, that's what the opportunity I have for you as well. You can earn and learn. So we're also going to teach you how to adjust your lifestyle so that way you learn how to live on a budget. How many of us know what a budget is? Because we were taught that budgeting is about tracking spending, right? We all heard that. Budgeting is tracking spending. But what if I tell you that that's incorrect? Budgeting is knowing how much you can spend and knowing how much you can save before you do either one of them. That's what budgeting is. So that's why we got to learn how to avoid credit traps. We got to learn how to avoid the credit traps, because here's the thing about credit. Credit teaches you how to acquire assets, and assets puts money in your pocket. But many of us acquire liabilities that we think are assets, and it takes money from our pocket. See, Robert Kiyosaki taught us that. He said an asset puts money in your pocket, liabilities take it from it. We're going to teach you how to really leverage your credit in the right way so that way you can learn how to start getting passive income. But the only way any of this is going to work, guys, the only way this will all work is if you are willing to unlearn and relearn. That's the only way this is going to work, guys, because we got to understand what are the new rules of money. So at the end of the day, here's the thing. There's 6 steps of financial security. And in our firm, we're going to teach you this because success will only begins with financial education. You know, Joseph, in our firm, in our coaching program, we're going to teach you how to increase your cash flow. So that way you learn how to, you know, earn additional income. You know, when it comes down to debt management, Maureen, we're going to show you how to consolidate your debt and learn how to eliminate your debt. We're also going to teach you how to create an emergency fund, you know, Ms. Deborah. So that way you can learn how to save 3 to 6 months of your income for those unexpected moments. You know, August, we're going to teach you how to put together proper protection. We're going to show you how to protect your family's assets. And you know, Miles, we're going to show you how to build wealth, where to put your money, where it can outpace inflation. And you know, Ms. Rufina, we're going to teach you about how to preserve your wealth, because it's important for us to learn how to avoid probate. That's why estate planning is so important. You got to have a trust, a will, a power of attorney, and a health directive. That is what estate planning is. So these are the things you're going to learn in our classes, and they're all complimentary. All you have to pay is attention. That's all is required of you. So that's the reason why, guys, we're going to teach you how to conquer your finances. We're going to teach you how to conquer your finances. You know, how many of you right now that are listening want to learn how to conquer your personal finances, right? We got to be conquerors. We got to take control. So that's why here at HGI, we empower people with financial education. And some of the topics that we touch on is things like the Rule of 72. Things that we teach you also is like the power of index contracts. Other things like accelerated living benefits and the wealth flow formula. These are just a few of the concepts that we teach you so that way you can be empowered. So here's another thing I want to tell you guys. We're going to break this down. Now, I have a question for everybody that's on the call today. How many of you know what is the Rule of 72? How many of you have heard of this concept before? And if you've never heard of this concept before, write this down. Let's talk about what the Rule of 72 is. You see, the Rule of 72 is a concept that you use and you divide 72 by the interest that you're receiving on your money, and the years that it's equal tell you how many years it takes for that money to double for you or against you. So that Rule of 72 work for you or work against you as well. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you're 29 years old. You want to retire at 65. You invest $10,000 one time. And you put the money where you got 2%. Remember, 72 now, divided by 2, that equals 36. That means the money will double now every 36 years. So from 29 to 65, that's 36 years. $10,000 only doubled one time. So even though you invested, we got 2%, that money only doubled one time. What if you put it where you got 4%? 72 divided by 4 now equals 18. Now the money doubling every 18 years. So from 29 to 47, from 47 to 65, those are all 18 years. $10,000 doubled 2 times and grew to $40,000. What if you put it where you got 8%? 72 divided by 8 equals 9. Now your money is doubling every 9 years. So from 29 to 38, from 38 to 47, from 47 to 56, from 56 to 65, those are all 9 years, and the money would have doubled 4 times and grew to $160,000. Now let's think about the bank real quick, Maureen. When you put the money in the bank, and let's say that the bank gave you 1%, which we know they don't, but let's say that they did. The bank gave you 1%. 72 divided by 1, that equals 72, correct? So that means it would take you 72 years for $10,000 to become $20,000. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to wait 72 years. I'm trying to live to see 72 years, right? That's the goal. Well, you got to realize that where does majority of the people save their money? In the bank. And where do you think the bank is saving your money? Definitely not in the bank. Okay? Write this down. It's something called BOLI. The banks are using BOLI. Google it. Right? Google that after this session. So when it's all said and done, guys, you got to understand the power of index contracts because it's so important. You see, many of us, we sacrifice returns for safety, right? And other people sacrifice safety for returns. You see, the index, it brings the best of both worlds together. That's why you got to learn about index. Now, you see, many of us, we were taught to put our money in stocks, mutual funds, IRAs, 401ks, 403bs, right? We were taught to invest in these vehicles. Did you know that these vehicles are known to be what's called unsecure accounts, right? So you may say, well, Keyon, what makes them unsecure? Well, it's because they're tied to the market fluctuation. You ever seen an EKG, right? Isn't that what it looks like? It's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. I call it bipolar money, right? It's very bipolar. And depending on the time when you look at it, you may be happy and sad in one day, right? So the thing is this, guys, even if you was to invest $100,000 in 1997 inside of an unsecured account, that money would have grew in 2014 to $219 plus thousand. But what if you would have put it in a secure account, which is like an index account? And this index account, as you can see, there's no up and down. It's either growth or locked in. See, the reason why index accounts are so incredible is because it guarantees you to never lose money. Guaranteed to never lose. And as you can see, it outperformed the unsecured account. Outperformed it. So this is where the index account, if you would have put that $100,000 inside of a secure account in 1997, in 2014, it would have grew to $245 plus $1,000. You see, that's why you got to learn about secure accounts, and you got to learn how to protect your money, because many of us, we put things in place to make money, but we got to understand how money works as well. Did you also know there's 3 ways your money gets taxed when you need it? How many of you guys knew that? There's 3 ways your money gets taxed upon distribution at the time when you need it. Write this down. Your money gets taxed now, which means that your money is taxable. So when your money is taxable, you're using vehicles like a bank, mutual funds, stocks. These vehicles, when you take out the money each year upon distribution, the growth is taxed each year. They call it capital gains tax. Write that down. Capital gains tax. There's no contribution limits. You can put as much money inside of these vehicles. It does count towards your kids' financial aid. No RMDs, no excess tax, may impact your Social Security taxes, and yes, it's also included in your estate. So meaning that if you don't have a trust, your family will be going through probate. Now, the next tax bracket, called tax later, also known as tax deferred. So when you put your money inside of a 401k, traditional IRAs, 403bs, annuities, these vehicles get taxed. Now, the tax that they receive is called pre-tax dollars, which means that when you put the money in the contribution, you don't get taxed upon the contributions. All right, write that down. You don't get taxed when you put the money in. But the contributions are limited each year, how much you can put inside of them. It counts towards your kids' financial aid. The RMD age used to be 72. Just of this year, January 1st, 2023, they moved the RMD age from 72 to now 73, which means that if you don't start taking the money out before your 73rd birthday, you will lose 50% of the money inside of the account. And it's called your RMD because you fail to take out the required minimum distribution. That's what RMD means. So you will lose 50% of your total savings in these accounts if you don't start taking it before your 73rd birthday. Also, potentially around 85% of your Social Security, Maureen, will become taxable. And yes, remember I told you about they don't tax you when you put it in? But now, let's say that you're 59 and a half. Let's say that you're 59 and a half, or let's say that you're not 59 and a half. Did you know that even if you're 59 and a half or not 59 and a half, any withdrawal that is taken from these vehicles will be taxed as ordinary income, which means that they're going to tax you on the withdrawal, and then at the end of the year, they're going to tax you on the total contribution that you have taken out. So you got taxed twice in these vehicles. And yes, you will be included in your estate as well, meaning that if you don't have a trust, your family going to go to a probate to acquire your estate. The last tax bracket is where you get tax-free distribution. This is known to be tax advantage. Write that down. It's called the tax advantage tax bracket. So in this tax bracket, did you know that life insurance, didn't I tell you? They told you that life insurance for when you die, right? No. Life insurance gives you a lot of tax-free and tax advantages. And that's why the wealthy people use it. See, we buy life insurance thinking about dying. Rich people buy life insurance thinking about tax advantages. That's why they say rich people don't pay taxes. It's very true. They don't. They don't pay taxes. Only middle class and lower class people do. Right? You see the growth in life insurance, when it's structured properly, the growth is 100% tax-free. Did you guys know that? You pay no taxes on the gains. No capital gains tax. No contribution limits. Does not affect your child's financial aid. And no RMDs, no excess tax, does not affect your Social Security, make it taxable because it's not considered an asset. Tax-free income through withdrawals or loans, and it's not included in your estate. Why? is because, write this down, the IRS tax code 7702 or 7702 section A. This tax code make life insurance not considered to be an asset. And some of the perks about owning the right type of life insurance is that it gives you protection from lawsuits and garnishments, and some states child support. Yeah. And also, did you know when it comes to emergency funds, you have access to your funds because there's no 59 and a half rule. When it comes to retirement, it's a great retirement supplement because it provides you tax-free money. And then when it comes to your kids' college education, you can use this for your kids' college education and save for them, and it doesn't affect their FAFSA. If you look on FAFSA, they ask you to disclose everything except life insurance. And when it comes to the savings, it's because why life insurance, the right life insurance is a good way to save, is because it gives you the potential to have growth and safety, with a guarantee to never lose money and give you the potential to earn more than what inflation is. How many of you guys knew that about life insurance? Those are something what we call the perks of life insurance when it's structured properly, like the wealthy use it. So, you know, Joseph, when it's all said and done, you got to understand accelerated living benefits. Now, you got to learn how to protect your savings, guys. You got to learn how to protect your lifetime savings by leveraging life insurance with accelerated living benefits. And that's what I told you. Rich people don't buy life insurance thinking about dying. They use it for when they're alive. And let me show you how they do that. They use something called living benefits, where they accelerate the living benefits and why they are very essential. Now, I want you to think about this. Is it fair to say that we're most likely to die, to get sick before we die, Miss Deborah? I think that's a fair statement to make, right? And when we talk about the sickness, we're talking about heart attacks, stroke, cancer, things in these nature, right? We could get sick. Now, here's the thing. Did you know that health insurance would not cover all your costs? And when we talk about costs, I'm talking about like your mortgage, groceries, utilities. Health insurance don't cover that. And even if you're 65 and older, you know, Ms. Maureen, if you're 65 and older, you go on Medicare. Did you know that Medicare pays $0 for long-term care services after the first 100 days? And guess what? That's why you got to learn about the life insurance that you could use while you're alive, and you don't have to die to do that. See, that's why I keep telling you, they tell us about life insurance when we die. Imagine this. Imagine being able to having access to your life insurance death benefit. Yes, your death benefit. Instead of using your life savings that you have for your retirement, use your death benefit to pay for any chronic, critical, or terminal illnesses that you may encounter, and have your money for retirement. So you can use your death benefit for your long-term care services and use your savings for your retirement. That's how you leverage that. So when I ask you how many of you have $600,000 to $1 million saved up for long-term care, I just told you how to do that by leveraging your life insurance death benefit. That's one of the cool things that we help families to get them qualified for. So that's why you got to learn about the wealth flow formula, guys, because your needs going to change over time. Your needs going to change over time, and you got to understand about accelerated living benefits and how it plays a role. Remember, I told you, before you die, you got to make sure that you got to have your dime in place. So God forbid if you die too soon, because these are two events you got to plan for in your lifetime, you know, Joseph. You got to plan for if you die too soon and if you live too long. Now, if you die too soon, you want to make sure that you got all your dime covered. Your debt, your income, the balance of your mortgage, and your kids' college education. Your income is so important to your family. So that's why we tell people to buy term, and then you invest the difference in cash value life insurance. Why do you invest the difference in cash value life insurance? It's because if you live too long, your kid's going to be grown. Your debt's going to be lower. Your mortgage will most likely be paid off. But what's important to you if you live too long? You need to have a tax-free income coming into you so that way you can enjoy all the money that you save and not partial of it, right? That's why you do that. So I always tell people it's never RIP. It's never rest in peace. But it's most likely you're going to live too long where you LIP, live in pain. But if you're going to live in pain when you live long, make sure you have tax-free money and enough to keep you through your retirement years. That's why we help families to win this money game, guys. So at the end of the day, we have a wealth of resources. You know, HGI, we have a world-class support system. We work with many, many companies. I'm talking about companies that you know of. I'm talking about companies like AIG, North American, Athene, F&G, Americo, Besto, American Amicable. Nationwide is on your side, right? We work with all of these different companies, and many of these companies you know. And these are some of the services that we help families with. We're helping families to learn how to put together their retirement planning. We help them with retirement planning, college planning for their children. We talk about estate planning, many more plannings that we do. I always tell people, we're like the financial footlocker, right? You come in here, we can help you. So guys, if you want to know, how to own a tax-free banking system and understand the infinite banking using cash value life insurance with living benefits, guess what, Joseph? We're going to teach you how to get growth on your money and learn about compound interest. Write this down. You got to know the difference between compound interest and simple interest. Your banks give you simple interest, while the banks take your money and get compound interest. Isn't that crazy? These are things that you're going to learn about here. We're also going to teach you where you can put your money and get safety. You're going to get safety, guaranteed to never lose. Do you hear the words that just came out of my mouth? Guarantee. That's in writing. Guarantee to never lose money. And yes, we're going to teach you how to put together protection. We're going to show you how to put together protection for living benefits, money for care. This is where you're going to learn how to put money together and have money for any chronic, critical, or terminal illnesses. And we're going to teach you as well how to get tax advantages, how to get tax-free money, tax-free withdrawals when you need it, or if you need to get a tax-free loans. We're going to teach you about how to get death benefit that goes to your families as well, tax-free, no estate tax, tax-deferred income, no capital gains tax. So we're going to teach you where to put your money in one place, and get growth, safety, protection, and tax advantages in one place. These are things you're going to learn here, guys. There was a guy named Andrew Carnegie where he said that put all your eggs in one basket so you could watch it. But over the years, they twisted his words and changed it and said, don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? And you got to do diversification. How many of you guys have heard that before? Yes, that's what they tricked and switched his words. The problem is that Mr. Andrew Carnegie never told you where that basket was. And that's how many of us were moved and shift from where to really start saving our money. So at the end of the day, guys, what's the next step? What's the next step? It's quite simple. Ms. Dolores, all you have to do to get to your next step is that we're going to help you begin your financial independence. And here's what we commit to you guys, right? Very simple commitment that we have for you guys. We're going to provide each of you guys here that decide that you want to take on the challenge and you want to start learning more about finance. We're going to provide each and every one of you with a personal financial needs analysis. And based on the information that you provide to that certified educator, that person is going to be able to identify solutions and put together strategies for you. Also, they're going to address any concerns that you may have. We're also going to talk about how to fulfill those potential gaps that you may have within your finances. We're going to also help you to start your financial independence, right? Your path to financial independence. How many of you guys want to become financially independent, right? How many of you guys want to learn how to keep your financial advisor intact, right? Keep them accountable, right? If they're going to manage your money, you want to know how to manage them, right? Keep them accountable. These are things we're going to teach you. So you got to commit, right? We're going to commit. The only thing that we ask of you guys is that if you know 5 to 10 people who we could educate and keep teaching them this and let them know that this is available to them, please, we ask you for referrals. Who do you know? Who do you know that could benefit from what we do? And let them know that we're here to educate them and empower them. So as I come to a closing, guys, I want to ask each of you this question. What do you want to learn more about? What would you like to learn more about? Would you like to learn how to become a financial educator on a part-time basis? We could teach you how you could earn an extra $2,000 a month part-time on a part-time basis, working less than 30 hours a month. Okay? You can also learn how to become a student here. You can learn and get the chance to learn about your FIN number, put together a budgeting plan, learn how to create a stronger financial foundation, learn about wealth formulas that you could use to increase your investments and your wealth portfolio. Or you can learn how to become a client. You can learn more about to become a client. You want to learn about the services that we provide. You know, when it comes down to retirement planning, estate planning, college planning, or more. Or maybe you want to learn how to become a referral source. Maybe you want us to educate your friends, your families, your co-workers, your acquaintances, right? Just let us know what you'd like to learn more about, because we're going to send out, I'm going to post a link inside of the chat room right now where you guys will be able to fill out a short survey and literally share your feedback with us. We want to hear from you, right? How can we keep empowering you? What can we do to help you start winning the money game every day, right? Not just today, not just tomorrow, but every day. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to post this link in the chat room so every last one of you guys could take the time to fill out that survey and share your feedback with us, guys. Because your feedback matters to us, and we want to know how can we continue empowering you. And for those that are tuning in online, all you could do is just click the link on our profile, and you'll be able to get access to this very same survey as well, where you can share with us what you'd like to learn more about at the same time. And the other thing that I want to let you guys know is that, you know, now you've seen that there's a company and a firm that is here to help you win the money game. We want to teach every last one of you how to win. And all you have to do is pay attention. Pay attention. So I want to leave you guys with this. You're one decision away from changing your future for the better. So always remember that the choice is always yours. And I'm going to encourage every last one of you guys to choose wisely. Because like I said, all you have to pay is attention. Come and learn and take the opportunity to learn more so that way you can earn more. All right? So my name is Keyon Corniffe. Some call me Mr. Finance, your favorite financial educator and business coach. And it was such a pleasure to be here with you tonight. And until next time, I'll see you guys on the top. And for all the educators and students, please remain on, or pretty much you can log back in the next 5 minutes. So I'll see you guys within the next 5 minutes. And for all of our guests that are tuning in from our YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and here on Zoom with us, we appreciate you guys for tuning in today. And I hope you guys took something away from today's session that's going to empower you guys. But remember now, all you have to do is pay attention and you continue learning more. So I'll see you guys back for our next session, guys. And make sure you hit a like and share as well. And it was such a pleasure. Have a blessed night. I'll see the educators and students back in 5 minutes. All right, guys. See you back in 8